Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. The Scorpions. The Scorpions are back again. It's insane. They are becoming the band that every time you see them, every few years, you keep saying to yourself, I got to go see them. They're never coming back. There's no way they're coming back. I'm going to go see them because it's the last time I'll see them. And then there they are a year or two later, back in Vegas, especially with another residency. But I think they're still touring. Pretty incredible. It's 60 years. That's their advertisement. They've been doing it for 60 years. It's just wild. So I heard that they were doing another residency. Same as always, I got to go check it out. I got to see, is it still worth it? Do they still have it? How is it possible that they still have it? It's always interesting. First of all, God, I don't even know how to verbalize it. You know, I always say when I look at these old rockers, the idea of dressing somebody up is so important and apparent. When you look at these guys and they're draped in leather and they're wearing outfits like they're 22 years old and they're under lights and they have gorgeous guitars and they have gorgeous drum sets and they look good. But if you took that same person, if you took Clouse now and you put him in a members-only jacket and some polyester pants and you sit him on a park bench with a tuna fish sandwich, he will look his age, which I believe is high 70, 77, 78, maybe even 80 by now. So they do a really good job. They look good. I mean, for their age, I mean, you forget how old they are. Clouse is definitely slowing down. I mean, I saw it the last time I saw them, which I think was in 2022 or 23. I remember they were one of the early shows after COVID to start setting up residencies again. And at the time, now, I was wrong in my head. I don't know why. I thought I read somewhere he had Parkinson's, but I looked it up before. I don't think he does. But I do think he had a lot of respiratory issues, and I do believe he had some back surgery, and I think that's what really slowed him down and stiffened him up. But here's the thing with Scorpions, and here's the thing with all these bands. You know, you want to sit here. People want to sit and bash them. Oh, they're too old, retire. No. We still have a chance to see them live. I don't care if they're 60, 70% of what they were. It doesn't matter. I think we learned a lesson with Ozzy. We lost Ozzy Osbourne. Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. And it was one of those things that if you saw Ozzy a year, I mean, forget the final concert. That was its own animal. But if you saw Ozzy a year or two before, you'd be like, oh, he's getting too old. He should retire. He's not the same Ozzy as he was in the 80s. Yeah, duh. He's fucking 50 years older than he was back then. But you still got to see Ozzy. And in all these shows, you have these moments, even if it's one or two moments, where you forget their age, you forget what year we're in, and you are transported back to 1985. And that's what it's all about. And I don't look at it like, I'm going to go see the Scorpions. I hope they're as good as they were in 1983. No, fucker. You're retarded if... sorry, I don't think you're allowed to say that word anymore. But you're an idiot if you think you're going to go to a show in 2025, almost 2026 now, and think you're going to see and sound exactly like they did 40 years ago. It's just not going to happen. So you got to go in there with a little bit of realization and understanding what it is. So that's my little TED talk on seeing these older bands. And I've always said it. You're staring at the crowd you're staring at the band saying, oh man, look how old these guys got. They're looking at you. They're looking at you in the front row, squeezing into your Scorpions shirt from 1987 that doesn't fit you anymore. You look like Winnie the Pooh with your belly hanging out. Or the girls trying to squeeze into their little shorts and jeans that they wore to their concert in '89, and they're God damn, look how old our crowd got. I mean, it's a two-way street, man. We're also getting old. So as long as everybody's good with that and everybody shuts the fuck up and just appreciates what we still can get to see the Scorpions live, you're gonna enjoy this show. Does he sound as good as he does? No, but he has his moments, and there's certain songs. Let me backtrack. That's my opening rant. But let me start with Buckcherry, because Buckcherry, they started right at 8. So if you're going, get there at 8, because he was literally on stage at 7:59. I like Buckcherry. I always like Buckcherry. They are like this sleazy rock band with a couple of big hits, and you just look at him and the guy was born to do this. They were born to. He can't do anything else. He just has a gift. He has a look. He has the sound. They wrote the right music that matches the look and the sound, and they just killed it. Their set list was short. It was Lit Up. I love that song. Roar Like Thunder, So Hot, Let It Burn, Ridin, When the Sun Goes Down, Sorry, Blackout. And then he did Crazy Bitch, but I don't like it when they do this. In the middle of Crazy Bitch, they extended it out, and they did Sex Machine, Bad Girls, Irresistible Bitch, Proud Mary, and then closed back and tied it up together by finishing off Crazy Bitch. I don't like when they do that, personally. I love the soul, and I love they were doing little dances and shit, and I love all that. But, you know, Crazy Bitch is your anthem. That's your big song. Don't fuck it up. You could do that after. Like, play Crazy Bitch the way we want to hear it, and then play your other stuff after, which is fine. I love seeing it, but not in the middle of Crazy Bitch. But that's my 2 cents. They obviously can do whatever the fuck they want. They've been around a long time. Never made it massive. Never, became an arena band. But they're like the perfect opener. Or I've seen them a couple times as the headliner. They play little venues, so it's a great little show to see when they're headliners. I'm a big fan of Buckcherry. On to Scorpions. So like I said, 60 years. They did have a promo before that they're coming out with a Scorpions movie, not a documentary, a movie, which looks pretty good. I'd love to see that. I think they're doing that with ever since that Motley Crue, The Dirt, was popular on Netflix. If you haven't seen that, watch it. It's a great show. I love Scorpions. There is no band that I can think of off the top of my head that has their sound, that has their soul. There's something European about it. There's something magical about his voice. Definitely one of the top voices in rock and roll history, I think. And they've been doing it so long. They know what the fans want of them, and they deliver it. They're really good at that. Let me get into the set list. And then again, they skipped a couple big ones. I remember from last time they did as well. It bothers me, but I mean, I don't know how long that guy can stay on stage. When he's doing this shit for 60 years, you have a lot of songs to play. Coming Home, Gas in the Tank, Make It Real, then The Zoo. The Zoo, to me, is their most underrated song. I fucking love. Who doesn't love The Zoo? What a cool freaking song. Coast to Coast. Then they did a little medley of Top of the Bill, Steamrock Fever, Speedy's Coming, Catch Your Train. They did Bad Boys Running Wild. Love that song. Delicate Dance. There was a lot of instrumentals, and rightfully so, man. They those guys shred. They always have, and they look good. The band looks good. They really, like I said, they know they've been doing it so long, especially now in an era of cell phones and video cameras and pictures. They know how to stand. They know how to stand in formation. They know how to form a V. They know how to hold their guitars. They know how to hold the pose so everybody can get their pictures. They know when to go out to the middle of the stage. They know when to come back. They are like a machine, and it's sad a little bit. Clouse, he moves, but he moves like little baby steps. And it's definitely not this like, the music rocks. I don't think the band does anymore, but like I said, you can't. What do you want from the dude? Think about how old your grandparents are. I mean, that's where they're at, and they're still on stage playing night after night, traveling around the world. It's not easy to sing these songs the way Clouse sings them. I mean, it's he did a lot of tricks. I know he's always done in his career where he turns the microphone on the crowd and back and forth, but you could see if he was struggling, if he knew he couldn't hit a note, or if he knew he couldn't hold a note, he would turn the microphone to the crowd. He's done that a lot. I remember as a kid watching him, he likes to hold the microphone to the crowd and let the crowd sing, and there's magic in that too. Don't get me wrong. Delicate Dance, I said. Then this is probably my favorite. I don't know. Send Me an Angel is probably my favorite Scorpion song. Send Me an Angel is, oh God, what's the word? It's just such a beautiful, strong, haunting's a good word, song. He still sings it great. You hear, like I said, you have your moments in this show where he nails it. He just nails it. He nails the pose and the note, but he's not bad at all. He still sounds great, just not as powerful, not as, I don't know if the word is confident maybe to really go for it, but he's doing it. And then he did Send Me an Angel, then he did Winds of Change, which is, even to this day with all the war going on, it's still a real poignant ballad. Look at me with the big words, poignant. But there's a moment at the end of Wind of Change. It's always been like this, where he lets the crowd sing along for the last 20, 30 seconds, and you get chills. I mean, this is 80s was known for their hair bands and their rock and roll and their heavy metal, but the ballads that came out of the 80s, those 80s rock ballads, those power ballads, I think they called them, were incredible. And you listen to them now, this is 40 years later, 50 years later almost, and they sound so good still, at least to me. I mean, I got to, even if you're a young kid, you're hearing Wind of Change or Send Me an Angel for the first time. I mean, how do you not fall in love with these songs? They're incredible. Loving You Sunday Morning, New Vision, Tease Me Please Me, I love that. Big City Nights is fantastic. When came back, did the Encore. Somewhere in there, Mickey did his solo. What a great drum solo. I always remembered his drum solos. They were great. Then they did an Encore, Blackout, No One Like You, and, of course, they closed with Rock You Like a Hurricane. They're the Scorpions. It's really hard. The negative part of this show is just the inevitable. The negative part is that they are getting old and they're slowing down. And that's inevitable. You cannot fault them for that. Whatever you want to beat them up for doing that, on the flip side of that, you have to applaud them for keep on going. They don't need the money. They don't have to do this. But I think they know. They're still packing it in. The place was packed. Tickets were, let me get into tickets. Tickets were, they were expensive. I looked, they were between 200. This is now on the resale because it was pretty sold out. I think Face were 100 something, but on the resale they were going between 200 and 300 for good seats. I was in section 201. I was off to the side a little bit, but I got a seat that I liked, and it wasn't bad. I paid a little over $100. I got them last minute. I wasn't going to go this weekend. I was going to wait till next weekend because I knew the tickets will be cheaper, but saw them really cheap and grabbed them. So you can get lucky on the secondary markets. I had another friend who was there. He got lucky on the secondary market. So if you can wait, that's always my advice. If you get them early, Face, you're good. If you can wait to the last minute, wait as long as you can because tickets will start to come down the day of the show. That's it. There's not much else to say. They are iconic. And I'm telling you, losing Ozzy, we always say it, but the next 5 years are going to be rough for our generation, man. It's going to be rough. We're starting to lose people, and we're going to start losing these musicians, and it's going to be like Paul McCartney's coming in October. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go see him. I mean, how many more times can Paul McCartney come around the rest of your life? How many more times can Scorpions come around for the rest of your life? I mean, it's really wild. It's something you have to go see. You just have to. You just have to keep seeing them. As long as they're coming, you go keep seeing them, and they'll keep showing up. And as long as they're showing up, then you keep going. Thanks for listening. On a scale of 1 to 10, I didn't even rate it. Shit. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it an 8.7 out of 10. It's just a great show. It's not something that you're going to... It's not like this crazy rockin' show. I have memories of going to see Scorpions back in the day, down in the pit, dripping sweat, just completely immersed in the music and in everything that they're doing. It's not like that anymore. It's more of it's like an appreciation show. You just sit there and you're just smiling. You just smile from the time they come on stage to the time they don't. And like you said, you have your moments, you have your flashbacks. Great show. Go check it out. Thanks for listening. If you were there, leave a comment. Subscribe, and I will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.